No! 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 Screw it, I've ruined it. Right, I completely ruined that intro scene. I clicked on the button before I meant to. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to Angry Welshman Productions. I completely messed up that intro. So, we are on the glorious Devon route, and tonight I shall be driving from Exeter St David's to Plymouth. Platform 3, I believe it is, and we'll be utilising the released a couple of weeks ago, yet I haven't streamed it until today, Bulldog 3300 class. And funnily enough, we're going to be driving 3353 Plymouth 440 class, and we'll be utilising 6 Matrix trains, is 70 foot and I think 55 foot Toplight coaches, one of which is something we've never done in AWP before. We're going to actually try and do a slip coach run. What could possibly go wrong with this? We're actually going to try and slip a coach on the run. I've never even attempted this, by the way, so I've got no idea what I'm doing. But we're going to give it a go and see what happens, basically. I don't even know if that slip coach is actually the right way round, to be honest. I assume that, oh, well, it's got a corridor connection, so it must be. I guess.
Well, this could be interesting.
Although I think the slip should be the other way round, actually. Unless, oh, actually, I can't, honestly, I can't remember which way round the slip needs to be, because you're supposed to be able to flip it off, you know, remotely, or from the brake coach or something, aren't you? Oh, I don't know.
It's one thing I honestly have no idea about. I've never actually looked into slip coaches.
No, but it's something.
I would just like to mention, Reese, your audio on the stream it's fine. On my end, it's a bit potato.
Right, it's probably Discord. Hang on a minute. Let me just.
Yeah, basically, you keep cutting off at the end of, well, at the beginning and end of every sentence, so I'm only getting the middles.
Oh, because my microphone is set correctly.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd just quickly check on the stream. It's fine on there, it's just on Discord.
How about now? Is that any better?
Yes, it is.
Well, I reduced the sensitivity a bit. I wonder, maybe I've reduced the sensitivity, and it's because I've got I've got a fan going in the background. So I wonder if that's doing something.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah.
That might be messing with the sensitivity a bit.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So,
yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to buy myself a new fan because the fan that I've got on my desk is just simply potato.
Hail at AWP people, you're not good enough fans, so he's had to buy a new one.
Yep, exactly.
You've all been replaced.
The fan has been replaced. So this is the Bulldog. We haven't actually taken this for a drive yet on this, or even we've never even been on this route. This is the glorious Devon route, and it's available. Wait, we're just okay, the regulator was at full power for some strange reason. Okay, but I don't know why.
It's off to a good start.
Yeah, the reg was just through the roof. I don't know why, but okay.
Well, that's where the reg belongs.
I wanted to do a filmy arty-farty thing as we were set. Oh my god, look who it is! People were saying in the chat, I wonder if Leslie is going to appear, and there he is, as if by magic. He has appeared.
Quickly tunes into the chat, just in time to see him appear.
I gotta be honest, this logo in this livery, it's in Great Western lined green. It does look really smart, and I've got Great Western coaches, but I think they might actually be the wrong period coaches. They might be slightly earlier than the livery of this logo, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm honest. But in all honesty, I don't really care because it just looks so nice.
Yeah. I was having a think about something earlier actually, and I was having a think, I wonder what a 7F would look like in Great Western livery.
A 7F in Great Western lime green? That would upset a lot of people, but it would look good, I think.
Yes, it would. Well, I was thinking of it for, I was actually thinking of it for Because I was thinking when he comes back on the Plymouth Valley line, he's running with Great Western coaches. So I wonder what it would look like if he was painted up to match them.
That would, yeah.
And I think I think it would upset a lot of people, and that's why I'm tempted to do it.
Oh, you even got
Not that I'm evil
working
at all.
internal motion on this loco.
Ooh.
Now, you might be noticing, people, that I am really stoking up the fire significantly. It's because I did a run
That's
earlier with
because,
this engine, and she is a hungry girl, but she does perform
Lisa's been
exceptionally
trained in
well.
the art of proper firing.
Yep.
What is it? We should just dump a big pile on the middle and then leave it for the
Yeah.
rest of the journey.
Put the entire contents of the tender in the firebox, close the door, turn on the blower, walk away, come back 3 hours later, and see if the engine hasn't exploded yet, and then
Yep.
do the work you need to do.
And if you're struggling to get the fire going, you just chuck a load of paraffin on it and hope
Yeah.
you don't blow yourself up.
Diesel fuel, just pure diesel,
Yep. Yep.
and lots of rags.
I'm a diesel loco now.
So, wow, we
That's how
got 40
oil-fired
people
locos
viewing.
work.
It seems that the Great Western stuff is quite popular.
Nah.
Yeah, I think so,
It's
Sam.
a lie.
I think the Great Western stuff seems to be quite popular.
I think that's a lie.
Right, since I'm making a lot of extra steam, I'm just injecting at the same time, and I'm going to open the reg a little bit more. Let's get some extra speed. And we're heading towards the Dawlish seawall. We only got 50 miles on this run.
Yeah, it's a nice short run then.
Exeter to Plymouth, just to show off the this beautiful machine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
No,
I
it's
tell you what,
going to
with
go
them-
perfectly.
With them coaches, it does look spectacular.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get a proper set made up with the engine and the coaches matching. There's
Oh,
just something about a matching set.
I've got everything right today. Matching livery, matching loco. Oh, it just looks spectacular. That's it. It's just confirmed it. Stephanie's now a Bulldog. In Over the Hills.
You're gonna have to do a Stephanie changes loco in every scene
Oh, of course.
short thing.
Okay, everybody.
Right.
So let's have a look at the chat. Terry Bartlett is saying Great Western stuff is more popular today. He was on the Southern. Oh, he's on Clan Line. Been on Clan Line today. Okay, cool.
Right.
People are talking about what sort of speed we're going to get. I think we're going to top out at about 60, to be honest. I can't see us.
Sounds about right for the Bulldog.
I can't see us getting beyond 60, really, if I'm honest. Because
Mind you, I think
we do have quite a heavy train as well for a Bulldog.
it is actually a bit better when you slow your train down a bit. I mean, when you go for high speed runs all the time, it gets a little bit too easy. But that and the locos actually sound better, sort of 30 to 40 mile an hour.
Yeah, you
That's
get
sort
better
of,
sounds,
I think
don't
that's
you?
the ideal sound range for an engine.
Because unless you specifically go out in on the main line and record it, then you're always looking at sounds that are modified to make the speed, really, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep. And even when they're on the main line, if you're recording them from that, once you get above sort of that speed, the motion's going that quickly, like you sort of go from hearing the individual chuffs to hearing sort of a continuous drone.
Well, I'm blowing off again. So that means open the reg.
Okay. Have you not got the reg fully open anywhere?
I'm at 50% reg.
Why?
Well, I'm finding with this loco that you really don't need the reg all the way through the roof. You actually get quite a lot of power at lower cut or lower percentage regs.
Let us know where to drive, Reese.
I know.
It's full reg or go home.
Full reg or nothing.
Yeah.
So, Steam Lance says,
So
have I
well
ever
done.
driven a diesel on the Plymouth Valley Railway? Yes, I have. I drove a Class 40, which I couldn't drive. I drove a Class 37, which I could drive, actually.
Which you couldn't drive.
No, I did quite well driving the Class 37. And it was an advanced
Until
diesel.
you have to start.
I have to be honest, I've driven lots of diesels in Train Sim, but the most fun, or some of the best drives I've ever done, has been driving advanced diesels. Because they're just interactive, you know, they're, with most diesels in Train Sim, you just open up the throttle and that's it. That's kind of why I like driving the DMU in Train Sim World, because it's a bit more finicky with the gearbox and the, you know, you're all with the controls on the dashboard. And I really like that. Even though Train Sim World is a bit potato, I really like the DMU.
Well, Train Sim World itself is alright, it's just the stuff we're making for it.
I'm hoping it'll get
It's
better.
not... Yeah, the game itself isn't bad, it's just... It's not as good as you would expect it to be for what it is.
Yeah.
It's not a suitable replacement for Train Simulator yet,
Oh, not at all.
I think is the simple explanation for it.
Neil M
It's
is
a good
asking,
game,
where's
but it's not a
James?
successor.
James is not going to join us tonight. He's having a couple of weeks, if not a month, away from streaming because he needs a bit more me time, so he won't be joining us for a little while. Screenshots. Right, I'm trying to think of where we're going to drop off this this slip coach.
I would say at the point at which you start struggling.
Well, that's cheating, isn't it?
No, it's a
Basically.
slip coach, it's designed to do that.
Yeah, but it's supposed to go to a specific destination, Sam. They didn't make a slip coach so that the driver could just let it go whenever he's struggling with the load. That's
It's
not
a
how slip
magical
coach.
mystery tour.
That's not how slip coaches work.
It is now. We should do that as a challenge.
Oh, I'm at the water troughs. Unfortunately, I still haven't worked out how to use the water trough. I think it's
yes.
the Y key, or is it the T key? Or
I'm
no.
not sure, I've never worked it out, because isn't T what you use when you're at a station? Or is it Y?
Oh, apparently I
I don't
broke.
know,
I've broke the disaster. The water scoop is broken, but I was actually in the. I was actually in the water scoop when it broke.
Reese,
So
is there a possibility that the water troughs don't actually work?
it is possible. I mean, I was going through the water trough, and that's the same water trough that they use on the Riviera in the 50s route.
What speed were you going?
64.
Maybe a little bit fast.
No, I wouldn't have said so. I've seen they. I don't think they dropped their speed that much when they were going through water troughs.
I would have gone for around 50 myself.
Right, so Railway
Right.
Productions 2110 is saying drop the slip at Dawlish Warren so it doesn't block the main line. The problem with that, Railway Productions 2210, is that I would have to actually switch the points at pretty much as I'm going over them, which is...
And we know how well that
yeah,
works.
we know that's going to go potato if I attempt to do that. I'm managing a steady 65 mile an hour, Sam. Not doing too bad.
That's not bad. What route are you on? Exeter to Plymouth?
This is
1958.
Glorious Devon route, yeah, Exeter to Plymouth. I think
Yeah,
it's...
there's two of them in the Glorious Devon ones.
I didn't see part 2.
I'm sure there's two of them. Because
Yeah,
we were
this
having
is-
a look at them for...
This is part 1. I'm sure that there is a part 2.
let's have a look.
Because I would have gone all the way to Plymouth if I installed part 2. Perhaps I can install it after I finish this live stream. Install it real quick and then carry on.
BP simulation. That's glorious Devon, Exeter to Plymouth, 1958, GWR/SR Part 1. Route. Which one's this one? I'm not sure. There appear to be two glorious Devon routes.
Yeah, there should be.
I wonder if one of them's an expansion.
Unless one of them is like assets and the other one is
I don't know, are you missing a load of assets?
Not really, no. I don't know then. What DLC do you need for this route? Sandwich Gamer. If there is a list, if you download this DLC or look on DP Simulation's website, there's a big list of what you need and all the dependencies. I'm not going to go through and list them. Link is in the description below. And it's free, by the way. And it's a spectacular route. All 1950s. Hey Sam, I'm up to 68 mile an hour.
Oh, that's not doing too bad then. Better than I would have expected from it.
Well, it's better than I expected from myself, to be honest. Well,
have you opened the leg up now?
We're approaching Dawlish Warren. There is... I'm going to let the slip coach go. Goodbye.
And finally, Reese has a legitimate excuse to lie, cheat and win.
I've probably let it go way too late, to be honest, because I've let it go while I'm doing 70 miles an hour. Oh, has it stopped? It just stopped. Well, it's in. It's technically in Dawlish Warren. All right, it just stopped. It just stopped in the middle of the main line, but you know, potato, potato.
The signallers are now going to have to everyone's going to have to get out and push, and the signallers are going to have to stop all trains, and it's an absolute disaster.
No, it's not. They'll just get a little surprise pan here up. Oh, we're on the Dawlish seafront! This is my favourite part. I've got my Xbox controller out.
Oh god, let laugh.
Oh, it's been a while since I've used this Xbox controller. Come on. Arty-farty shots. Oh, yeah. Flying the drone. The drone of wisdom. Oh my god, I'm flying off! The drone of wisdom just became a rocket. Oh, that's epic.
Why is it the drone of wisdom?
Because I couldn't think of another name. Alright, Sam, shut up.
Did drones exist in 1958?
Yes.
There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Drones existed in 1958.
Oh, trying to blow the whistle and fly this drone is really hard. Oh, that was actually quite a good shot. Not bad, if I say so myself. One of the more difficult shots I've ever done in Train Sim.
Not great, not terrible.
Not great, not terrible. Blowing off like hell.
I'd give it.
3.6 out of 10. Well,
I'll admit, that's quite an impressive shot there, Reese.
It was good, wasn't it?
It wasn't bad.
And something else which I tested earlier is that you can't get fatal blowbacks. Yeah, I already tested it, chaps, because I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. It's funny though, because I think I've had a total of one fatal blowback in the entire of my train sim career.
Oh, stop bragging, Sam.
And, well no, but after watching your streams, I thought it would be a much bigger problem than it actually turned out to be.
I can open the reg a little bit more. Because I am making steam like crazy, so I'm just going to shove the reg through the roof for a bit. I think we're about to hit an incline just up ahead. At is it Totnes?
Well,
Is it Totnes? No, it's
you're,
not.
yeah,
Not Totnes.
there is absolutely no way you will be at Totnes.
I was going to say it's
No
a
chance.
little bit soon to be at Totnes, but
Is it Toten?
no, I'll remember it now. Torre? Oh, that shot mine.
I don't know.
That is the money shot right there. That was the
How
money
much
shot.
money?
Oh, 50 grand, mate. Tainment,
That shot
tainment,
makes-
tainment.
If that shot makes you 50 grand, I will
This
give
is
you
the
a fiver.
station I was on about. Is it Teignmouth? I was on about this the other day when
Teignmouth.
we were on about broad gauge, loading gauge, about Great Western stuff, and you could see where it was built to that broad gauge, loading gauge, because the tracks are much further apart than standard gauge ones would be.
Yeah.
I need to stop shoveling now because we're going up quite a steep incline. And I'm pretty sure this is it's a 60 mile an hour speed limit, so I am speeding now, but I don't want to ease off the reg too much.
Yeah,
Oh,
the issue is if you let off the reg, you then can't open it back up again and get your speed back.
Exactly, if once I lose it, that's it, I've lost it, it's gone.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah.
Well, I'm holding 70 now from Teignmouth up to wherever I'm going. So there is no part 2 to this route then, is there?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like there's a Glorious Devon 1958 and a Glorious Devon 1958 Exeter to Plymouth SR/GWR.
So I'm
And
guessing...
I don't have a clue what the difference is between the
I think the first one is modern day.
two. No, they're both 1958.
Are they?
Yeah,
Maybe one is just an older version then.
it
Or
could
something.
be. One could be. I think, as far as I can guess, I would say either an older version or a shorter version.
Yeah.
So, like, the SR/GWR one might be an extension of it.
Steamlance is saying it's pronounced Teignmouth.
Haha, I said Teignmouth.
Stupid English language with these stupid pronunciations.
Pronunciations. Oh dear, Reese. Reese, it's pronounced pronunciations.
Oh, shut up, Sam. Oh, this is... for a free route, this is really a stunning route.
Aye.
I should have had
I
more
love
coaches.
train sim.
Should have had more coaches. She's handling 5 coaches, no problem.
So, Reese, you know I said tonight I was going to have a go at fiddling around on that route.
You haven't, have you?
Well, train sim just spent about half an hour trying to load in, and then decided to dump file
Yep, that
before
sounds
even
about
getting
right.
into the scenario.
Definitely sounds about right.
Why? Why do you do this, train sim? Well, I think I'll give it 3 goes, and if it doesn't work after 3 goes, that's it. It can
It can eat
not
potato.
work at all. It can eat alcoholic potato juice.
Oh. We're just approaching Newton Abbot, and I need to shut off.
Are you sure you're not approaching Alton Abbot?
What?
Alton Abbot.
Alton Abbot? Alton Abbot.
Yeah.
I see what you... You should be ashamed.
I am. No, I'm not really. I don't
No,
care.
I knew you weren't. Right, I am... Probably should be slowed down a lot more than this, to be honest. We're just about to hit the 40 mile an hour zone.
Happy, mate.
Nothing bad ever
You just
happened.
have to get. Nah. Fine. You'll just have to get all the passengers to lean over to the inside of the curve.
Just everybody sit on the left-hand side of the train. We're going to do a speed. You know, in that scene in Speed where they're all leaning on the side of the
When
bus?
they're in the bus.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's what we're going to do for going through Newton Abbot. Oh, what a beautiful station.
Yep.
It's all custom buildings and everything.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, but I am going to have to quickly... I'll wait for it to just go a bit further and pause. Since I learned about using the pause button, my screenshot taking abilities have just like got so much better.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is quite nice.
Unpause.
See, this is the kind of thing I'm going to attempt with the boot I'm editing when I make the preserved version.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to use existing assets because I can't make them myself, but I'm going to reskin them into original LNWR colour schemes.
Yeah.
So the idea is all some of the stations at least, will be done up in a way similar to this.
Yeah.
So, on the platform fittings on that, canopies on that, everything will all be matching textures.
It'll look really good, man. Oh, there is a missing bridge. So. There is an asset missing. Is a bridge, and I don't know what pack that's from, but we do have a missing bridge. Okay, time to open up again.
You have to put out a missing persons report.
Missing bridge.
Have you seen this bridge? Reward offered for information leading to finding of the bridge.
Oh yeah, the people in the chat are right. I think we were supposed to stop at Newton Abbot.
Were we?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it was part of the timetable stopping of this service.
Whoa, we're running a service?
Yeah, apparently.
I thought we were just taking the train out for a play.
I think it's using the track from the Isle of Wight route. It does look quite smart. This is the junction where you would otherwise go down on the Paignton and Kingswear branch. But we're not going to go that way. Now we've got to start tackling the South Devon banks, chaps. That's why I've been shoveling like mad. Ooh, that's a steep gradient.
And why you've gone easy on the coaches.
Well, to be fair, I think this is actually quite a realistic load for this loco. Because in reality, they would have had like the 6-wheel coaches and the 4-wheel coaches back in the day. And and when these coaches did come out, they would have only had like 4, 5, or even 6 of them, like what we've done. So who knows?
They'd have had like the clerestories first, wouldn't they? And that sort of thing.
Exactly, the clerestories. Right, now I've opened up the reg.
Ooh, that's a lot of stuff in the recycle bin. That might be why it's running so slow.
So we're on the first slog of the South Devon banks. We are losing speed. And this is what the Great Western King class was built to do. Was to tackle this climb.
It was built to go up a big hill without braking.
Basically, yes.
See, what I find so amusing is that the Duchess was also built to do this.
It was.
But it was built to go up bigger hills.
More of them
with
as well.
Heavier loads. Yeah. Well, I have got to admit, I was quite surprised when I tried taking it over the Great Western Main Line and got to this bit. Because I always thought it was like the bit of the line between London and Newton Abbot, where it's all just flat.
Yeah, it's completely flat. Apart from Wellington Bank, between Exeter and Taunton, it is completely
Yeah.
flat. Right, let's stop
And
shoveling.
then you just get after Newton Abbot, and then it's the opposite. It's just hills.
Right, we're on a 1 in 48 gradient here. We're down to 33 miles an hour. We are at 100% reg now. We are thrashing the beams.
You got your fire road door open though.
Oh, I am. Not anymore. Yeah, it's
It
because
looks like you have.
It's because I was shoveling.
Letting all that cold air into the fire.
I know. I mean, if I was firing in reality, I would have my foot on the flap and I'd just be shovel, kick the flap down, chuck it in, push the flap back up, and then, you know, use, what do they call the flap again? Baffle plate. That's the one. I'd be baffling all the way.
That'd be something to see modelled in train sim, wouldn't it? Realistic use of the flap. All the doors opening and closing when you fire.
Yeah, but that's what I would love to see in train sim world.
Yeah.
You know, proper firing. Obviously, it would be very difficult. Come on, old girl.
Well, it'd be doable.
Oh, it's definitely doable.
When I've been on footplates before with other people, for locals where they don't actually have a foot pedal or anything, what we've done is we've had like one person holding the handle for the door.
Yeah, on the door, and then the other actually shoveling.
Just open and shut it for them. Yeah.
We've just topped Dainton Bank at 32 miles an hour.
Speedy.
Actually, I have to be honest, that's actually quite good. Considering that she's a 440. So I'm going to lay off the power, wind it back a little bit. Let's do some injecting now because and some shoveling. Actually, I don't really need to do much shoveling. Just let the fire burn a bit while we roll down the other side. We are speeding up pretty decently. Shut the reg because it's quite a steep gradient here. Ooh, 1 in 38. Ooh, that's actually I gotta put the brakes on.
Wow.
What's coming up? 55. Speed limit's 55, so that's okay. How much run time we got? 27 miles left to run.
So you're about what, halfway?
It's not going to be as long a live stream as I thought it was going to be honest.
Well,
it's been good though.
If it does end up shorter, there is always the possibility for checking out one of those other routes.
There is, yes. We could check out a certain route which I know someone's been mentioning for me to review.
Yep. We'll have to see if it turns up. Or rather, when he turns up.
What I might do then is I might start it as a separate stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just, it's not really for any other reason, just to, you know, so it's...
keep it separate.
Yeah. Brakes
yeah,
off.
that makes sense.
55 miles an hour speed limit here. Although I have had an idea.
Oh, way up. Hey up. Here we go.
City of Truro got to, what was it, 104 miles or 102.4 miles an hour over Wellington Bank.
City of Truro?
Yeah.
I believe it was about that.
So I'm kind of wondering if I should attempt it in a Bulldog.
Oh god. Well, I mean, Well, it should be interesting if nothing else.
I might set up the scenario, because I don't think this route does it, but it would be the Bristol to Exeter by Just Trains route, I think.
Yeah. Well, of course, the issue is you have got like a 15-minute load time or something then.
No.
Oh, do you not have that?
No, funnily enough, I don't.
Oh.
It's only the only route I struggle to load is Western Main Lines.
Yeah.
And that's because it's so freaking big. You know, and it's not because of the laptop, it's because of the route itself is so big. Oh, there's a horse. Horsey. Hello, horse. Why is it blue? It looks like it's covered in oil. Someone's been dumping oil on these horses again. We're almost at Totnes. Have you been dumping oil
tell
on
America?
America.
You'll have the entire US military coming there now just for that oil.
Everybody's saying I should do it. The City of Truro run. So I think after this run I'm going to have to load it up, and then what I'll do is I'll stop the stream, restart, and then we'll do a run on Jared's route.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We'll do it as a
I think
different...
we should try and wait for him...
Well, I'm hoping...
Try and wait for him to turn up if we can.
Well, no, don't do that. I'm hoping we've got 24 miles left to run. That should take at least half an hour more. So
yeah, sounds about right. Well, if we're about halfway, I reckon half an hour, 40 minutes or so sounds about right.
So we'll see when he turns up that I could load in.
Aye.
We're just approaching Totnes.
The Totnes monster.
The Totnes monster.
That's definitely the right thing, right?
Well, if Cake wants an idea for the Newton Abbot saga, the Totnes monster. Courtesy of Sam, if she likes that idea of the Totnes monster, you never know, you might have you have a character for Miss Butterfly Coffee's series. Here we are, Totnes. The original terminus of the South Devon Railway, I believe it was.
Yep. It ran...
But you can clearly see
from
from this station where it used to be broad gauge.
Gaps between the lines so big you could fit another line between
You
them.
could probably fit a whole other track in there, yeah. Yeah, here we go, we're going to hit the incline. Let's open her up.
What's the incline ever done to you? Why are you hitting it?
I like how Sirliv is now reminded me of the time I tried to hit the ton with City of Truro years ago. I tried it 4 times and failed. I still never achieved it. I never achieved it. I could never do it. They used to say it was possible, but I don't believe it was. So I'm going to try it with this loco and this consist.
I think you should try it with City of Truro as well.
Yeah, I want to try it with this loco first, just to see. Full reg. So now we're on a 1 in 47 gradient, up from Totnes, the second climb of the South Devon banks. So I've stoked the fire right up and I filled the boiler right up. So the boiler pressure is starting to come down just a touch.
Is it a good idea to have the boiler filled up?
As much as possible, because I don't want to inject if I can help it. Which
realistic practice.
No, I know, but as much as possible, I don't want to be injecting on a steep incline. But realistically, I know I'm going to have to.
Purposes. But yeah, in real life, you would want to leave. You always want to aim for about 2/3 of a glass.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, you'd be priming. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But just a general thing for people watching who don't know anything about real life lurkers, it is actually quite fascinating watching the boiler water level if you ever get on the foot lurker one. Because whenever you open the reg, the boiler water level just goes shooting up. But then it also means when you shut off, it goes shooting down as well.
Yeah.
Which is why you often inject when you shut off. Because if not, you end up with no water in the boiler. And a bit of a brown trousers moment.
Well, I'm holding the speed. It's 1 in 56 gradient.
You're holding it hostage.
Yes, I'm holding the speed hostage. It's literally tied up in the front room, and we're in negotiations with the Iranian government for the release of political prisoners right now.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rhys Davies, the new Foreign Secretary.
Hey, well, Bojo has been replaced. He's now Prime Minister, so someone had to step into his shoes.
Yep.
I would be
also being held hostage.
I would be the greatest Foreign Secretary. Step 1, invade China. Step 2, liberate Hong Kong. Step 3, recolonize the colonies. Step 4, turn Africa into a gigantic solar panel. You know, my plan for the world is spectacular.
I mean, I'd vote for you.
Exactly.
And then regret it for the rest of my life.
And then, with all the war crimes that would be committed.
Yeah, but it's fine. If you win the wars, it doesn't matter if you can win the war crimes.
To quote Captain Price from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, or is it Modern Warfare 3?
I don't know. I've never played it.
History is written by the victors.
That's true. Can't be held responsible for your crimes if you kill everyone that hold you responsible for your crimes. There we go. Angry Welshman dictatorship.
I would be a spectacular dictator.
And that can be the quote of the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
The Angry Welsh Führer.
There we go. Someone make listen to a meme, please.
Bulldogs for everybody. Compulsory bulldogs for everybody.
That's your challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Make listen to a meme. The Angry Welsh Dictator. Oh god, could you imagine? All the uniforms would just be Great Western uniforms.
Yes! Yes! Great Western chocolate and cream everywhere. You know, there's that meme poster of Duck, and he's like, there is only the Great Western way. That would just be literally everywhere.
Yep. Imagine Nazi Germany, but everything that is Nazi is just Great Western.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh,
IKB is watching you. All hail Eisenbahn Kingdom Brunel.
Great Western flags everywhere.
Yes. Well, I am now on a 1 in 95 gradient. It looks like we're approaching the summit of this climb. We're lifting the speed. We still got water in the boiler. We're still generating steam. I've still got a decent fire. I've still got a good amount of water in the boiler. She is actually quite a decent steamer, I have to say. She is really quite a decent steamer. I've driven the King on this route, but not this route, if that makes sense. The same run, but on a different version. And it just did not handle anything like a King would in real life. It just did not have. It needs some serious updates to its like scripting. Because for a King should be able to take 12 coaches up here. Alright, it's not going to do it at 75 miles an hour, but it should do 12 coaches up this hill, because that's what they were built to do.
Yeah, I think the issue is with the King. The most modern one we have was by DTG, and well, they didn't really care about it at all, did they?
No, they didn't. There
I've
we go.
actually had a look around the files for the DTG Exeter Kingsway stuff, and it's a nightmare.
I've crested the hill.
Oh,
I'm now injecting like hell.
ladies and gentlemen, Reese has crested and is now injecting. Bidi-bidi-bidi-bidi.
How far do we have to go? 18.5 miles, and it's still climbing, but it looks like it's a nice shallow grade, 1 in 200. I'm alright with that.
That's a nice gentle hill. Hey, it's loaded in. Okay, let's have a look. What can I pull up?
Going through a tunnel.
Reese, I'm being Dr. Beach into your route. I hope you don't mind.
Oh god. Are you modernising it?
No, I'm ripping it up.
Okay.
In fact, I'm half tempted right now just to make a version of this route with no track.
Well, I was going to say, I would like to have a route which is like ultra modern, like Arriva Trains Wales, single branch, just like reopened, or bare bones operation. Like all the station buildings have been knocked down, it's just like a very simple tarmac platform, no run round loops, you know, that sort of thing.
That could be interesting.
Because I was going to have in one of the final episodes of in the future, after it's all said and done. Or,
Yeah.
it might not even be that, it could be like a premonition of the future.
Well, as I discussed with you in Messenger earlier, my initial plan is to make some modifications to the route as it is. Once I've done that, I'll hand over my modified version to Mr. Trolley Fodder.
Yeah.
He will work his magic with the scenery.
You know,
then-
Darjeeling,
Yeah.
on Discord, he is making me some new station signs.
Ah, lovely. While he's at it, I would like to have a look at some LNWR style ones.
Okay, yeah, he's doing like Great Western - British Railways style ones
Yeah.
at the moment. But I'm sure we could speak to him and see what he says.
Yeah, some LNWR style and...
In fact, something I've just realised, he might very well... No, he hasn't messaged me. No, I thought he messaged me.
Yeah, some LNWR, but some Great Western style signs would be good as well.
Yeah.
It saves me resting in some.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the plan is to make 2 versions of the route in the end, essentially. One which will be pretty much in its condition it would be when it's shut down. So, in a generally terrible state. You know, very run down, rusty tracks, boarded up stations, that type of thing. And the other version would be a sort of 50 years from now type thing.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
what it would be like sort of when the Preservation Society has had it up and running and got what they wanted to do done with it.
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
So sort of
like 50 years of the Severn Valley Railway type thing.
yeah, or you know, like the Worth Valley sort of how it would be when they've got all the modifications you want for preservation in. So stations restored to the former glory, new track layouts that have been modified to accommodate storage of stock, new motive power depot, stuff like that.
Yeah. So for everybody watching who was wanting an update about Over the Hills, recently
It's cancelled again.
It's cancelled, that's it, it's over. The end. Bye-bye. See you later.
There you go, it's gone.
Well, basically, I visited the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway last week, and I was able to get my hands on some literature from 1965, I think it is, and it's the Severn Valley Railway Members Magazine. It's one of the first magazines that was produced by the Severn Valley Railway Historical Society, and in it contains pretty much like a 6 or 7 page document which explains what their plan is for getting a light railway order to run trains on the branch from Bridgnorth to, well, Beardley initially. And essentially that history is what I want to try and sort of follow with Over the Hills, is how they set themselves up and the legal implications, the light railway order, the inspections, just to make that side of it a little bit more realistic. In reality, of course, they got a light railway order and then they had a safety inspection where they proved that they were competent to run the railway, and then they were allowed to run passenger services. Whereas in Over the Hills, they're kind of going to get an inspection where they get approval to run passenger services, but it's limited to 1 year. So they have 1 year to prove that they can do it, and then they're going to receive another inspection where they get their full operational thing. So it's to add a little bit more drama to the series as well, but it's to try and keep it as close to the realism as I can. But obviously there is a line. It's very difficult to make a series where you're 100% realistic, because then people will get bored with that, and then the series
if you want realism, you can go and read the history books about the preserved railways.
Yeah, exactly.
Reese, I've done something that you should have done a long time ago.
What's that?
I finally deleted the crew that you've run over a bazillion times.
Oh, finally! That's only taken like 6 years to do.
Yep.
The thing is, I think there's something up with that route, because every time I've made changes, they either don't save, or when I reload, it's like it's reverted back to what it was, if that makes sense.
Well, I'll let you know if it fucks up my computer, though. I'm holding you fully responsible.
Well, not me, because I didn't make the route.
No,
wait, hang on a minute, I'm wrong roading. I'm wrong roading it. Why am I wrong roading it?
Why are you wrong roading it?
I have no idea why this is happening to me.
Reese, did you by any chance set the route beforehand?
I just said Plymouth Platform 3 is my final destination.
Ah, yes. Okay, another thing about this route, Reese. You know the cliff tops?
Yeah.
And you know they have the wall?
Yeah.
Like the brick wall?
Yeah.
I'm gonna delete that.
Yeah? Okay.
And I'm gonna try and replace it with a more natural looking wall.
Yeah. Like stones.
Yeah. Just because I think it might be a bit more fitting for where it is. The brick does stand out a little bit. Right, so that can go. See, this is why I was asking what kind of stone and that you have around your area.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying here so I can get some snazzy run past shots.
Snazzy.
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 I don't know where my engine has gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the competency of Reese.
Oh, there it is. It's coming.
Yeah, boy.
Come boy, come boy. It is a bulldog. Come boy, come boy.
Yeah, boy. Reese's dog comes bounding out. Goodbye, trap.
Wrong roading it. I didn't want to be wrong roading it. It looks crap. Why did you do that, Train Sim?
Because Train Sim, if left to its own devices, is a real bitch.
Okay, I'm going to have to pause it there, because there is a massive viaduct up ahead. I'm going to have to take some screenies. Although it's completely ruined because it's wrong roading.
Just take it from like facing the other way and claim you go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'll just have to reverse the clip.
You're actually pushing the coaches at 70 miles an hour going backwards.
High-speed auto train.
Yep. That's a perfectly legal manoeuvre. No one can tell you otherwise.
Oh, I'm upset now. Oh, I should have changed the points. Hang on. Pause. Let's see if there's any way I can... oh, I can't. I have to be in-game. Oh, this is potato.
Tato.
Is there any way I can switch? No, there's not.
Right, let's have a look at the SEA track.
Oh, yes there is. It's already set up ahead. Okay, well, I'm going to have to make sure I slow down for that. Because I don't know why it's routed me that way. But it's not far ahead.
Train Sim does really weird stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's like when you set your sat-nav to the shortest route, but it takes you through a farmer's field, a literal farmer's field.
Starts driving through a bloody canal or something.
Yeah. Like, yes, you can take this road. Are you sure? This road has no road. It's just a few pebbles and a lot of trees and hedges.
So it's after the viaduct. There's a loop and there's a set of points that I'm set to go over. So we need to remember that for this viaduct.
Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the boot.
I do love these Great Western coaches. They are stunning.
Matrix trains?
Yep. I've
Should've known.
got to be honest. It's very rare that I go with any other coaches other than Matrix trains now.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some, but not many. Start braking. I guess we want to be doing no more than about 25 for this crossover. Joseph Sense is on a canal boat, apparently.
Ooh. Wait, can you get internet on canal boats?
He must be on mobile data or something.
Watch out for that data.
Yeah.
It'll be just rapidly disappearing.
Oh, that's sharp. Yeah, I would have derailed if that was real life. Hashtag realism.
Good old train sim.
Ignoring the laws of physics since 19 always.
Yep.
Power. Back up to speed. There's so many like old bridge abutments that sit next to these viaducts. I'm assuming that that's the old or original broad gauge bridges that were here, and they were just bypassed by the new bridges.
It could be. Man, the Great Western Main Line though, what a cock up that was.
Oi.
Nah, but I mean like the whole converting from broad gauge to standard gauge, that must have been
that was
absolute.
No, that was actually one of the best planned feats of engineering in history. It was done in a weekend. If you go and
that's impressive, definitely.
If you go and look at the history, it was done on. I'm pretty sure it was done in a weekend. They literally.
That does sound familiar.
The last train went from Paddington, and literally the moment that it left the platform, the Permanent Way gang started ripping up the track. No other trains were running, and as soon as the last broad gauge train went through, bang! They were taking it all up, laying standard gauge track, or taking up the broad gauge track, and that's...
Did they just sort of move the rails a bit closer together?
No, it was all new, I think, but I think they really planned it. They planned it so well, and bear in mind, it was in the days before they had mobile phones and computers and communications. Everybody had to be working, together, miles apart, to get it done. And it was genuinely, it was a brilliant feat of engineering. It was just so sad that they had to do it in the first place. I mean, I still maintain broad gauge should have been the standard.
Well, yeah, it would have been a much different world if it was, wouldn't it?
The world would have been a very different place if broad gauge had become the standard. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what. I'm not going to sort of just say all standard or all the. If it was all broad gauge, we'd have been seeing Mallard, but in broad gauge, because I don't know how that would have worked. You know.
Yeah.
But, I would have loved to have seen what it was like.
It would have been interesting, definitely.
Right, it's a very steep downhill gradient here, so I'm going to shut off.
Do you think standard gauges, the actual history of it goes back well beyond the railways, doesn't it?
It does. That's the problem.
It was built to look like the gauge of all the wagonways and all that sort of stuff, which dates back thousands of years.
And if, in fairness, standard gauge is there because it worked, so...
Yeah.
You know, I would have liked to have seen the standard gauge, but then at the same... Well, I cocked that up. Right, I mean, I would love to see if someone like London Underground or Crossrail or someone would build a brand new railway. You know, the HS2, why don't they build that broad gauge? That would be interesting. Broad gauge, ultra high speed. Now, that would make sense to me.
You know, if you want to see broad gauge, you should go to Australia, to Victoria.
Oh yeah, the Victorian locos.
Because they're not the same broad gauge. Wasn't British broad gauge like 7 foot or thereabouts?
It was 7 foot exactly.
Yeah. In Victoria in Australia, I think it's 5 foot something.
Yeah, it's just a little bit wider, isn't it?
But even so, the Victorian locos are absolutely magnificent. In my opinion, my personal opinion, I would say they are the nicest looking locos outside of the UK. Right, what rails do I want to use? Do I want to use the Mardy rails or do I want to use the Fort William the League ones?
The rails, I would say probably either the Isle of Wight or the Mardy ones would probably be the most appropriate, wouldn't they?
I'm not sure. I'm looking for 3D ones.
Yeah, the Isle of Wight and the Mardy ones are.
The Isle of Wight isn't 3D, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I'm using it right now on this route.
I never knew it was 3D.
Apparently, in the USA, all the non-standard railroads converted their lines to standard gauge on May the 1st, 1886, which surprises me actually because I didn't know. Apart from narrow gauge, I didn't think the Americans had broad gauge. I mean, I knew they had lots of narrow gauge, but didn't think they had any narrow. I got that the wrong way around, didn't I?
Probably.
Yeah.
The Isle of Wight track's not going to be any good.
No good?
Well...
Looks like we're approaching Plymouth area.
You were right about it being 3D. But there is only one variant of it. And I'm going to need like Rusty Track and Sleeperless Track and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, you're probably going to be looking at Mardy then.
Mardy or Fort William the League.
I've not seen the Fort William the League ones.
It's similar to the Mardy one.
Well, there's a cargo ship that's sunk there.
Just slightly different. Oh god, what's Mardy under? Blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah. Michael Whiteley, that's the one. Oh, it's all ticked already. Oh, no, it isn't. Now it is.
I've just had a notification, and it looks like Spud607 has made a super chat, and €2. Thank you very much, Spud. Very generous of you again.
Has he
Ireland,
asked to ram it into the sea?
No, he hasn't actually, but that would be well worth spending the money. But he says that Ireland and Victoria is broad gauge, 5'3".
5'3". I knew it was somewhere just over 5 foot.
Yeah. Oh, I've missed Plymouth area. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back and have a look at that shed, because this is Plymouth shed is actually one of the biggest sheds.
Ooh, is this a custom made one as well?
I don't think it's custom made, but it does look bloody good. It's a proper motive power depot.
See, that's what I'm planning on adding to the Penarth Valley somewhere.
Well, there is the one at Blind Berris, but it's not brilliant. It could do with a bit of modifying.
Well, it would be, but also I'm thinking...
there's an inside engine shed. There's a roundhouse. They have a roundhouse and everything. That is epic.
Yeah, I'm thinking of adding one at not the main line end, at the other end. Because the other end's sort of the main base of operations, really, isn't it?
Well, Land Deer Dog.
Yeah.
It needs to be pretty basic, really. 55.
I'll fit it in.
It'd be alright.
It'd be right. There's a really big car park, and let's be honest, you don't need guests to actually be able to park.
Spud is asking, anything above standard gauge would be considered broad gauge. Yes, Spud, that's correct. Yes, it would. So
pretty much anything above is broad, and anything below is narrow.
It is a bit of a general term, really, isn't it? It's
until you get to 15-inch gauge, and 15-inch gauge is minimal.
Minimum gauge, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only one, other than standard gauge, where it's a set gauge. But yeah, 15 inch rather.
15 mil scale.
Yeah, that's a little bit tiny. But 15 inch is deemed as the smallest you can actually have a profitable, financial, commercial, proper railway. Anything smaller than that is deemed as essentially a toy railway.
Miniature, yeah. But then at the same time, the Romney Hive in Dymchurch is pretty much minimum gauge. But
it's 15 inch, it is minimal gauge.
And it follows all the same regulations as the standard gauge main line. Oh my god, that's a sharp turn.
Yeah, that's basically it. The difference is, if you are 15 inch gauge, you are still bound to the same rules and regulations as any other railway operator. If you go below that, then you're not, because you're not classed as being big enough to be dangerous or something like that. Yes, exactly.
That is exactly what the statement I was gonna make.
Yep, that's it. The plan's ruined now. Good evening, Mr. American man.
Is that our resident American has arrived?
It's one of our resident Americans.
Yes.
It's the Yank.
The American. Well, we're just pulling in. You've literally arrived as I'm about to end this stream. Oh no, I'm not. As I finish this part of the stream, anyway.
Yep.
We're just pulling in.
Don't you dare do that to me.
Well, it's not my fault you're late.
Don't.
Well, it's not my fault I have to work.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
You don't need a job.
Yeah.
Nobody needs a job. Selfish. That's what it is.
Well, if my photography business was where I could be capable of not having to go to a factory to work, then yeah, maybe.
You don't need to work.
Nobody needs to work.
You just have to be able to deal with the consequences of not working.
Exactly.
I mean, you could go live in the wild and hunt bears for a living.
Now, I would do that. And if James did that, I would literally pay him money to do that, to see it.
James, I think that's an offer there.
Yeah, I would probably be dead the first time I encountered a bear.
I've encountered a bear. In Alaska, I encountered a bear. Literally, I was
Was
walking.
it bear in all?
Was it what?
Was it bear in all?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
I was walking back from Walmart, and this guy in a pickup truck stopped next to me, and he goes, "Yeah, get in." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go. This is
Yep.
what's that film? Diddling ding 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 diddling ding 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 ding. Deliverance. This is
I don't know,
Deliverance."
but that's
Here
the
we
most
go.
American thing I've heard.
It's like, yeah, this is how
I was
this is how I
walking back
die.
from Walmart, and a guy in a pickup truck pulls up to me.
Well, that was what happened. I was walking back to the ship
Oh
from
no,
Walmart,
I completely believe you. It's such an American thing.
and then he's like, "Yeah, get in the car." And I'm just like, "Right, why would I do that? Why would I get in a pickup truck with a random stranger?" He's like, "Because there's a black bear just over there, and he looks pissed off, so you might want to get in the truck." So I was like, "Well, either I get mauled by a black bear, or I get in this
Or I
guy's
get
pickup
raped."
truck and I get raped." So, which one should I choose? Well, maybe he won't rape me. So I got in the pickup truck, just preparing to see that through, and then I saw the bear. It came charging out of the forest. I was like, "Oh my god, I survived!" So yeah, drove down the road. I was like, "Thank you, sir. You're a very kind gentleman." He said, "Time to make you squeal like a piggy." I was like, "Oh no,
Oh,
nah, not really." I'm only joking, by the way, lads. But I am loving this scene of the bulldog. I got slightly distracted by my story there, of this
Did you?
bulldog sitting at Plymouth platform 3, and it hasn't told me that the scenario is ended like it normally does.
platform 3 3/4.
Platform 3 3/4. We're going to Hogwarts. Get in, bitches. We're going sledding.
Get in, bitches. We're off to Hogwarts.
Well, that was kind of boring. That was kind of duh, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, what a terrible stream. It hardly lasted any time at all. And it
I
went
know,
really.
right? Right
Like,
then,
it's only
so
a stream when Mr. Ellison turns up.
what I'll do is I'll end this part of the stream by departing from Plymouth on the way to Penzance, which we'll have to do in a part 2 to this live stream. But after this, I'm only doing this departure shot just to end this part. Check out part 2, and I'll put a link in the description when we do it, if this route ever gets extended to Penzance.
No.
Meh.
There we go. What a sight. What a beautiful sight. And now it's time to exit the scenario. Quit, yes. And we're going to load up Bristol to Exeter, and we're going to load the same consist in. And we're going
And
to
we're
see...
not going to fail at all.
We're not going to completely fail miserably.
It's going to go fine.
Installing workshop. Come on. What is that noise?
What noise?
That's coming from you.
It was like a squeaking, but it stopped.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Yeah, James hasn't been oiled today, so he's a little bit squeaky.
Where is Bristol to Exeter? Free roam.
Yeah, well, Sam, it could be worse. We could be encountering a bunch of squeakers in the chat.
Hooray for
Hey.
squeakers.
Squeakers get someone help me out.
Sausages.
It doesn't rhyme, Reese.
Squeakers get...
Sneakers.
Beaks? No. Sneaker, yeah.
There you go. If you
Snitches get
squeak-
stitches. Oh my
if
god, I
you
just farted.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go on. Oh. Beautiful.
It's probably gonna stink you out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the live stream, Reese just farted.
Well, I've got
if
this
you needed
massive
to know.
fan now, so hopefully it won't smell like fart. I need to
It's
do a live
gonna
stream with
spread
this
it out.
Alaska route from Anchorage to Seaward at some point, just to see what that's like.
It'll be full of bears.
Yes, black bears and pickup trucks.
Bears and pickup trucks.
Right, let's zoom to Exeter. Here we go.
Zoom.
Doink.
Meow.
Deutschland. This is Exeter. And we'll drop a free roam scenario marker.
Will we?
Yes. Well, we'll call this AWP live stream 100 mile per hour special. And it is time.
Which is definitely not going to fail.
Oh, never, never.
I mean, I have complete faith that you will be able to do 100 mile an hour, Reese.
I'm really hoping I can.
Just not in that lurker on that route. I mean, maybe with a jet train or, you know,
Well, of course, with a
Superpug
jet
or...
train. Oh, I can't drive Superpug anymore. It's I've killed
You
it.
fucked up the physics files, didn't you?
Yeah, I need to completely uninstall and reinstall it.
What you did is you didn't create a backup,
Yeah, basically.
and you're now suffering for it.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah, you done fucked up, Reese.
Let's have Indian red frames.
Are you sure it's not, you know, Native American frames?
Yes.
I mean, you know, we should be using politically correct terminology, really.
Where is this Dean tender? Come on.
Okie dokie stuff. Pebbles are not the ground texture I want for them. Hoo-hoo.
Shirt button.
Sand. No, it's probably not going to be sand. It's not going to be rock face. Pebbles dark. Pebbles dark works, so like maybe a little bit too dark for ballast. That'll be good for the collar though. Gravel. My god, it's so bright. That's not
You
what I
will
want.
gravel before me. I mean, what?
Haha, see what you did there. It was a terrible joke and I appreciate it.
Kerry Eggleston has just subscribed. Hello, Kerry, and welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying what you see. What
Unsubscribe.
you see.
Run away while
Unsubscribe
you
right
can.
now. Run away.
Save
What?
yourself before it's too
1,
late.
2,
Carry
3,
on now before it's too late.
4,
Carry
5.
on.
There we go. 5. I've got 5 Great Western Toplights. Probably a heavier load than what City of Truro would have had on her record run. Oh, no. Oh, I needed to... Never mind.
Alleged record run.
What do you mean, alleged?
Well, I mean, it was recorded by people on the stopwatches, and unfortunately, in the scientific community, stopwatches are not considered accurate enough
Yes, they
to
are.
validate a speed record.
Yes, they are. You don't know anything.
However, just for the record,
Says the man who doesn't really know anything himself.
I know
nothing.
quite a lot.
Reese knows quite a lot, just none of it is useful. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Road dirt.
Okay, so I'm just going to start shoveling like hell. We're going to open the dampers. We're going to stick the blower
Every
on.
shoveling.
Just don't kill your fire again.
Now, would Reese do that?
No.
Yes.
Okay, just as a pointer, if this was in real life, my loco would now probably be derailed. Because if you have a look at the stream, you'll see that the conrods are literally sitting on the platform edge.
Oh yes. What you would have done is you would have just sort of hopped the whole lurker around over the conrods.
These platforms seem particularly low to me.
Hippity hoppity.
Tram road. That sounds interesting. Reese, we could add trams.
Oh god. Over the hills, the tram edition.
Yeah!
Die has become a tram.
Oh, that'd be great, Reese. Oh, wow, you got like cobblestones. Oh, Reese. I'm converting the Pennine Valley Railway into the Pennine Valley
Oh, good
Tramway.
god. The Pennine Valley Tramway Limited.
Yep.
Well, actually, if you convert it to a tramway and have that Wantage tramway logo, that little 040 that's at Didcot.
Nope, you're going to have actual trams. Di, Stephanie,
trams.
Leslie, Ian, they're all trams now.
Is it electric? Ooh!
It is now.
Right, we're going to go for a record 1, everybody. We're driving Plymouth again.
Sidewalk.
Funnily enough,
so
it's the same logo as we had in the last time we were here.
Oh, that's coincidental.
I know, right? That livery of mine does look amazing, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it looks okay, I guess. Not as good as Crimson Lake, but it's not bad. I'm being serious.
Gentlemen, Reese Davies yet again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reese Davies.
How is my fire? 744 pounds. We're blowing off like mad. I'm gonna top up the
Hello,
water.
fire. How are you today?
Let's have a look at the fire. Hello, fire.
You've been fired.
Oh, it's a 3D fire. It actually looks quite decent.
Is it on fire?
It is on fire. And
Guys,
it should be on fire. Something is on fire that actually should be on fire.
The fire is on fire.
His firebox was on fire.
Oh.
Oh dear, oh no, it's a graphite. I'm tempted to replace the entire trap bed with cobbles.
I'm really not sure what's going on with the sander.
Oh, you using a sander?
No, I accidentally started playing with it and now it won't go back to its off position.
Just wait for it to run out.
Well, we'll have to. It's literally not... It's just doing its own thing. It's just dumping sand. I can't turn it off.
Reese and the locomotive that built a sandcastle.
Nothing is
Ooh.
working.
Ooh. I've just found a really interesting loft.
What is
which
it?
is for it's for a pavement. But it's like it actually looks like a pavement.
Oh.
And not just like it's like 3D and everything.
Oh, this is interesting. UP 4014, the big boy, is back in Cheyenne, Wyoming at the steam shops.
The little boy?
It just got back to Cheyenne yesterday, and today they announced they're doing an excursion with 4014 across Cajon Pass, out west. On August 24th. That's only 2 weeks to sell tickets and get everything ready.
Yeah, I have noticed though, it seems like quite a lot of tours are actually sold out on a fairly last minute basis. Like, there's not many of them that do actually go out and get booked up quite far in advance.
Public excursion is pretty rare.
Yeah. Because, you know, America.
Well, Union Pacific usually saves the excursions for employee specials and so forth.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Meanwhile, in other preservation news, I got to drive a maintenance motor cart yesterday.
Cool.
Or a speeder, as we call them here.
Was it going over the limit?
No, it was the first time I had driven one of those things ever, so I took it easy.
Did it explode if you went over?
No.
I mean, it's speed lure. That's the second speed
Now, if
reference
Reese
we've had
had
today.
been driving it, that'd have been a different story.
Oh, and it was if you went over 55 mile an hour, or were it 50 mile an hour, or were it kilometres? No, it was
It
America. It would have been
doesn't
miles.
it doesn't go that fast. I mean, it's built for basically taking you short distances for maintenance work on the track.
Yeah.
Myself and a few other volunteers for the Railroad Museum have been the Indiana Transportation Museum have been clearing a rail line on the north side of town for speeder rides for our Carousel Fun Day, which is a one-day festival celebrating the 100th birthday of the Denzel Carousel at our park, one of our main parks.
Right. So the last time I did this run, it was they basically said in the scenario that you had to be doing about 65 miles an hour when you reached a tunnel at the top. If you want to hit 100 miles an hour, you have to be doing at least 60 miles an hour, or 65 and you hit the top.
How fast are you going, Reese?
25 at the moment, so I'm not ragging it yet.
Somebody in the chat says there's no way this engine will do a ton. Yeah, I could say it will do a ton of failure.
Now, see, you've said there's no way you can do it. It's not only going to go and do it once, it's going to go and do it 3 times in a row.
And then blow the engine sky high.
No, I've observed that Reese can actually be quite competent when he tries to be.
I am actually quite competent, despite what most people think.
His failures are deceptive because most of them are actually deliberate.
The majority of them are.
You know, accidentally caused by negligence. But
Yes.
when he's actually concentrating, I've a lot of over-ambition. Over-ambition does tend to be an issue.
I'm at 34 miles an hour at the base of the incline. I gotta try and remember this route. Really, you've got to be picking up speed steadily through the whole run, really.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see what happens.
What was that?
I might have farted.
I wondered. I was like, good lord.
I was kind of hoping you would not notice it, to be honest.
That
Lord,
was
it's that loud. How could I not?
Yeah.
True that.
I'm not deaf. Just because I work in a factory doesn't mean I'm deaf.
What?
You what?
What?
Have you ever wondered?
No.
Oh.
What?
Never.
Okay.
Next.
Next.
Right, Sam, I've got a really hot fire burning.
Excellent.
She's blowing off already. I got the injectors on, just trying to keep the water relatively high in the gauge glass, so I'm going to open her up now. I gotta be very careful about where I open her up.
Heard that one before.
Because,
What?
dirty bastard.
What? Sorry, what was that? I was not paying attention. Anyway. Reese, I have sent you a screenshot with some potential track types, all of which are 3D, for you to look at your leisure. And it's not a very good one, but I'll send you a more detailed one.
Well, the one on the left is an inspection pit.
Yeah, but these are all sort of from the same track pack thing.
Are they? Well,
Yeah.
I would say
As far as I can tell, they're all named the same.
they all look like they're unique for specific like situations. The one on the far right looks really good for like freshly relayed track. So if there's like new sections that have been relayed, then that would be quite good.
Yep. I mean, I can always reskin them as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I may end up doing like, you know, reskinning the textures to match the ground textures.
Yeah. I'm at 50.
It's not gonna work.
Du, du, du. See, this is the issue with trying to do the ton. I mean, once you get up to 88, you travel through time, and then you have to sort of hope wherever you end up has rails.
Yeah,
that you can keep going on. It's a very dangerous thing trying to do the ton.
Especially with a 100-ton steam loco.
Oh yeah. I mean, why do you think that, you know, steam locos on the main line today are limited to 75 with the exception of Tornado?
Exactly, just in case it goes back to 1955.
Yeah,
that is
or,
the only reason.
Back to 2015, which was, you know, in those days forward to 2015, but times have changed.
Exactly. I think we're almost at the point where we start getting the real incline.
Whoa, we're up there.
Can we see it on the map? No, not yet. Let's have a look.
Arch Brick Loft. That sounds interesting.
Ah!
What now?
I just accidentally clicked out of Train Sim.
And thus, railed.
Where is that station?
Oh, it could be. At least it's not like one of the first times I played solo PUBG. My internet disconnected me and I came back and found I died out of play zone.
Tiverton. Tiverton is where. Tiverton is where it gets steep.
Tiverton is where it gets pivotal.
It
Which
is.
doesn't rhyme as much as I was expecting it to, but oh well.
Tiverton is the pivoting point.
Yeah, that works.
The success we need to really. I remember now. At Tiverton, you've got to give it everything.
It is riveting.
It is riveting. At Tiverton, we've got to give it the beans. So I'm.
You should be giving it the beans the whole way.
Not
Flat
really.
out.
You got to keep your steam. That's the thing. You got to have a full head of steam ready for Tiverton.
Yeah,
Because
but
that's-
you should be going flat out before you get to it.
Let's build up the fire. Let's put water in because I'm not sure how far from Tiverton we are.
Alright, excuse me a few minutes. Gentlemen, I'm gonna go put some oil on the rails. I mean, what?
Yeah, you better get lubed up.
Don't, if you stick oil on the rails, America will turn up.
I've still got a couple miles until Tiverton. Can't even see it yet. Nope, still don't see it visually. Oh great, I got no sounds now.
Oh.
Sounds fun. I mean, what?
Haha, see what you did there. You did a funny.
For some reason my chuffing sounds it. Can we not?
The chuffing sounds have gone.
Yeah.
That's chuffing awful.
Sam, you're gonna have to replace the chuffing sounds.
I can do that. I mean, it probably won't work and it'll make a mess because chuffing sounds don't like being replaced, but it's doable.
Go on. Actually, I'm gonna save. Listen,
I mean, what?
right. Just double check.
Okay.
I've saved us now. I'm gonna quit out and load back in.
Right, those are dry stone walls, so they're going to be no good. You cannot support a railway line with a dry stone wall. It is not a recommended idea.
I hope I have my sounds back.
Not my fault if they're not back.
Sounds like a dire situation.
Really?
Yep, I'm gonna keep going with the bad puns as long as I can think of them. Reese, I've sent you a new screenshot.
Yep, my sounds are back. There we go. I don't know,
There's
good.
more walls.
but my reverser is at 0, so let's...
It sounds like you're going backwards to me.
I'm not.
Busy going backwards, so to speak.
Let's have a look at what you've sent me. More dick pics. Yep, there we go.
Yep,
Dry stone
that's
wall,
what-
that looks pretty good.
that's my homework folder.
Well, just a full thing of dick pics.
Yep. Never know when it might come in handy.
Well, the track with the really rusty rails, you could do like all the,
thinking-
the sidings
Yeah,
and stuff.
sidings and collieries. I mean, the exact track types can be switched out later, it's not that much of an issue, but it's just sort of a generic fin for the main track.
Yeah.
Because what I'll do is I'll switch out the default track for the main track bed, and then, you know, for specific sections we can replace it with something else. The picture of the walls, they're the ones I'm looking at using for the cliff top, and I've got another couple of walls that might do as well. Let's just take a screenshot.
My sounds have gone again.
That's proof that GWR sucks. I mean, what?
Well, not really. I don't know what's going on with this model.
Well, I think what's happened is the Bulldog has been backing that long that it's got tired and gone to bed.
Well, I need to be able. Right, I'm saving. Let's reload. It doesn't take me It doesn't take long to reload. Just I'm not going to be able to leave the cab. That's weird. Resume. At least it doesn't take long to load in, which is good. Sergeant Big Boy is correct. He's lost his puff. And we're off again. How much further till Tiverton? Oh, still ages. We're not even in the same time zone as Tiverton.
Oh! Haha, and we can bring up the whole railways did actually used to have different time zones. And it was complete and utter chaos, and that's when they introduced standardised time for the entire country.
Yes.
There we go, if it wasn't for the railways, you wouldn't have standardised time.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Or fish and chips.
Fish and chips I'm not sure about, but I'm gonna disagree with the time zone thing.
Yeah, okay, but the railways did play an important part in it.
Oh yeah, they played a part in making all the country have a time zone, which became Greenwich Mean Time, which then became UTC.
Yep.
Why is Train Sim just minimized itself? Train Sim is doing weird shit right now. I don't know why it's doing this.
I have a correction earlier about the 4014 trip over Cajon Pass. It's in early to mid October as part of the trip to Steam Giants in Pomona, California, where 4014 was picked up from for restoration. But the tickets go on sale in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. Anyway, Kit Gartner is asking. He's asking, have I tried the Union Pacific 844 yet?
Have you?
I've got it. We'll have to actually. We'll have to do a live stream. We'll have to see what route to run it on because it's an advanced loco, and I really struggled driving it the last time I tried. So
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I think we should try it, give it a go, just to see if we can get me to actually drive it in advanced mode, because it is a particularly interesting loco to drive. And I've not streamed it yet, so it would be a good one to do.
844. I've seen the real 844 up close.
Did you see it when it hit that person?
No.
No?
Thankfully.
I saw the video of that. It was horrendous.
Yeah, I saw it, and then it wasn't long after that everybody started getting yelled at for having it out.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, you can still see it. It's not that bad.
You don't want it.
It's
I don't know
a
if
It's
a fatality.
the impact. Sorry.
I mean, it is. It shouldn't be banned. It should serve as a lesson, because there was this girl who was standing with her back to the train, way too close to the track, taking a selfie with the.
Hang on a second, Reese. Did she get hit by the cylinder?
It was either the cylinder or the cowcatcher.
She got hit.
Oh, it might be a different one then.
The plow.
I think,
it's a different one then.
But basically, she was just standing right next to the 6 foot. Well, we call it the 6 foot, but of course in America it's a much wider gauge, and it just took her out. I mean, it's not surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen a video fairly recently. I think it was like in Australia or in South Africa or something. I'm fairly certain the loco was a Garrett, but it was a woman standing right next to the track in about the same sort of spot as the train were going past, and the actual cylinder hit her in back and just knocked her straight over.
Yeah.
I don't know if she survived or what, but I think she was incredibly fortunate that she was knocked away from it and not dragged under it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're just approaching
definitely been a broken.
The thing is, like, people shouldn't be afraid of watching it because it should be a safety video.
Well, no, but if you are afraid of watching it, that's a good thing, because that means you've
learned from it.
Yeah.
There's a very valuable lesson to be learned from it, and that's, if you're going to have a selfie with a steam engine, don't stand with it literally at a point where it's going to twat you in the back.
And if you are going to do that, make sure you get it on video.
And send it to You've Been Framed. It's 250 quid. Right, we're just approaching Tiverton,
lads.
lads.
That can go towards your funeral cost.
We're at Tiverton. This is the point where it gets really steep.
Insert massive wheel slip.
If you get a chance, have a quick look at Messenger.
I'm going to concentrate for the next few minutes on this task ahead, but I will try.
When you get onto it, let me know which wall is your favourite.
Alright, will do.
Yeah, the thing is, getting back on what I was going to say about 844 is, short as I am, I stood next to the drive wheels of that thing because they're so big round to fit the suitable for passenger service, like she was built for. I'm like, okay, thanks 844. I did not need a reminder how short I am.
So I'm approaching Tiverton.
This is it, Reese. This is the moment of truth.
I'm holding 63 miles an hour, but I don't think I'm on the steepest part yet. Nope, I'm not. It's about to get steep. Well, we're holding 63 miles an hour on a 1 in 216 gradient, so I need to be doing 65 at the top. This is the point. This is it. Here we go. She's going to get steep.
Hey up.
Way up.
Oh, yep. Hey, yo. Hey. Okay, I lost where I was going with that.
1 in 100. Nope, speed's coming off already.
1 in 1,000. Ooh, that'd be horrible.
Oh, speed is lifting. No, I think I think it's about to get steeper. Yeah, 1 in 115 now. No, we're already down to 55 mile an hour. I can't say I don't think we're going to have much success with this.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, give up. Give up, go home and have a biscuit.
Give up, it's just not for you.
Yep.
It's proof that the love between Reese and GWR is not mutual.
Ooh.
I love how it got real quiet after what I said.
Reese is concentrating, and I'm just, well, what I'm actually doing at the moment is scientific research. That's what I'll call it.
I think I'm nearly at the summit.
You're nearly at the crest.
Nearly cresting the hill, but I'm down to 40 miles an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reese is about to go over the hill.
Way!
Who knows, maybe I'll get some excellent acceleration on the other side.
You never know.
Oh, we're almost, yep, this is the tunnel, this is the summit. So we've hit the summit at 42.
Something like that.
Giving it everything she's got.
And we've heard that one before.
Yes, we have.
But we've got to accelerate quite a lot.
Diamond Pacific wants to know if you tried this a while back with the Just Train City of Churro.
I did, yes.
Yes. He failed. Every time.
Now we're on the 1 in 80.
Son. Hey Sam,
Yes.
you know that article Reese posted yesterday about Trump condemning video games?
Yeah.
You see my
Oh,
comment I left on there?
I don't think so, but I was gonna say I sense a meme coming here.
Yeah, you might want to go take a look real quick.
I like
Let's
how
have-
these memes always appear while I'm concentrating on something, so that I can't I can't stop it from happening.
Well, of course.
Yeah, we do this on purpose. It's a coordinated strategy.
Yep.
Unintentionally coordinated, but coordinated.
I've just seen it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we do that. We do this so that Littlewood or whoever else is moderating AWP can approve the post before you can deny it.
Yep.
I think that's one of
It's
the main reasons that I do it, because we know you can't stop it.
We think of all the memes and jokes during the week, and then we wait until you're streaming on a Friday evening, and then it's bam, get them all out there.
Or a Wednesday evening when in the case of when he's streaming with DPS.
Yep.
Right, that's it, chaps. 75 is all. 75 is all I'm gonna get.
75%, Reese. 75%.
Yep.
75% isn't enough.
Nope.
This means that it was probably a rumored thing that happened with the ton.
Well, no, I don't think that's the case.
Nah, I think it was either 100 or very close to it. I mean, I think actually, if you work it out, going off the margin of error on his stopwatch, I think the minimum speed would be something like 98 point something. Which is still very, very close.
Right then, chaps.
And if you include like the reaction time errors as well, then it's still pretty close to it.
Yeah. Right then. Well, I failed that, so I think we'll quit there.
Quit while we're behind.
Yeah. So, just had another super donation, another €2 from Spud607. Thank you very much, sir. Spud says, "Notice how Trump blames video games, but not guns." Yeah, that's
what Walmart's following suit, unfortunately.
You've got to laugh though, haven't you? I mean, you go into Walmart and you can literally buy a gun, but they are now hiding all the violent video game. I just find it absolutely incredible. Like, you can go and buy something that can easily kill people, but you can't buy something where you sit at home and don't kill people.
Not real ones, anyway.
Well, yeah, but the logic is just ridiculous. I mean, it'd be like us sort of saying Train Simulator causes real-life derailment, so we're going to ban Train Simulator, and then just letting anyone drive a train instead.
That is along the lines of that comment. I noticed you went along with that.
Is it called the Lakes End branch, Sam?
No, it's not.
What's it called then?
Which one?
The one that Jared did.
I think it's like work in progress LMS route or something like that, or LMS branch line route or something. It might be LMS branch line route or something like that. Yeah, subscribe to it, aren't you?
Yeah, I've actually been on it, but I can't find it in my... It might not have any scenarios.
It should still be in your scenario list though, shouldn't it? Because the scenario list is just the route list.
Doesn't seem to be in the list. I had this problem finding it before.
Ben Skelton says, "Put Churro in front of the Super 47."
Let's try workshop. Oh, he's changed the name. It is the Lakes End branch.
Is it?
He must have changed the name because that's the last thing I've signed up to on the workshop.
Yeah, fair enough. I know he was struggling for a name.
So, I was thinking because the screenshot looked quite familiar, so I thought it was.
Yeah.
Work in progress.
Fair enough, man.
Free roam scenario. Let's. So for those of you watching, I haven't got a link in the description, but this route is a workshop route. It's now called the Lakes End branch, and it's the work of trolley fodder.
He is quickly gaining a reputation as one of the most ridiculously detailed route builders there is.
He is indeed.
If you can afford all the DLC, his routes are well worth it.
They are amazing. Like, what was the Villain View branch he worked on?
That
as well?
wasn't one of his.
I thought he worked on it.
Yeah, he helped a bit with it, but that was one of his. That was essentially his Australian counterpart.
Yeah.
Well, he is Australian, but that was the guy who creates Australian stuff. He was essentially his counterpart. But they do work very closely together.
It seems everybody in the chat is getting triggered by the chat about Donald Trump. So we'll leave that there. We will leave politics there.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best, especially because we've got an American in the chat.
Well, last thing I'll say before we completely
No. We'll leave it. We'll leave it there.
Meanwhile, on to Reese's derailing. I mean, what?
Just quickly, Reese, pick a wall.
Pick a wall, any wall.
Well, pick one of the 5 walls.
Let's have a look at your messages while this thing is loading.
In fact, I think maybe ignore the first wall. It'll want to be one of the taller walls.
Probably the stone one, isn't it?
The one on the far left, sort of the pale stone.
Yeah.
You've got on the first screenshot of the wall was the one in the middle.
It's the one I've just put the heart's eyes face on.
Oh, that one. The mossy one.
No, the one behind it.
Oh, right, the dark stone wall.
The one to the left of it, like back and left.
Sort of the one with like the black top.
Yeah.
Well, the dark grey top.
Oh, I'm not looking at it now. Hang on. The dark grey top. No, not the brick one. The stone.
Not the brick one.
The stone block one.
Behind them. Yeah. Hang on.
Right, let's do this properly on this route because we're gonna have to. Oh, I've got no idea where I am. Right, there's our main station. We're gonna have to go from the engine shed, pick up our formation, and do a run round and all that. So I'm gonna set.
Now, do you want to go from the engine shed or do you want to go from the workshops?
Well, I finally got platforms in the route because Jared bought me the DLC because he's really kind.
Hey.
Because I didn't have certain assets and he bought me the DLC because he's super kind. I'm wondering, should I go from the workshops or should I go from the Doobie What's it?
Well, what you could do, I would suggest, go from the engine shed and pick up carriages from the workshop, maybe.
Well, there's carriage sidings just over there, so I'll do that.
Oh, well, go pick them up from there, take them to the main station, and then... What are you going to drive?
The same thing, the digital traction Bulldog.
Yeah, right.
I know this isn't a Midland route, but you know what? Meh.
I was going to suggest the co-tank.
Yeah, nah. That's what I was saying about doing it as a different stream because
yeah,
I should do it like that really. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to end the stream and set up a new stream, and then I'll so guys watching, everybody watching, thanks for watching this stream. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, I'll set up another stream.
I'm going to disappear anyway, so I'll see you guys whenever.
Okay, bye James.
Yeah, see you later, James.